like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all, I'm back with some new content. This video features Trey. She is Goku's baby's mother. Guys, please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. All right, y'all, let's get into this video.
But it's already been 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks of school. It's only been 2 weeks, and I already got a parent-teachers conference. And I'm just so nervous because I'm just like, oh my God, how much can a toddler do, right? She had more, well, I'm not going to say that. Every other day, it seems to be an incident. If it's not her listening, then it's, hey, what up? Cross 2 times. Black. What's good? I'm just venting about parenting, so if that bores you, then y'all might want to leave the live. But yeah, let me turn this camera around so y'all can see me. Hey, beautiful people. What it is. So yeah, this is my morning mommy look. But I'm just stressed because I just got her in school. First of all, I got her in school at the very last minute. They just so happened to have opened up a second VPK, which allowed her to get in. But the problem that I'm having is that Amora has challenges in school. The number one challenge I know for sure is the fact that she has a lot of energy. I set her appointments when she was, I think she was like 2.5. I set her appointments to see the professionals about like her hyperactive energy and just things like that, because I knew it was gonna be an issue later on. I mean, it's not that it's an issue, it's just who she is. It's just how she came out. And she's always had a lot of energy from the moment that, even before she could walk, she started walking at 9 months. Damn, bitch, so you're not gonna wait, huh? It's just that serious for you to get on about there, huh? I'm sorry.
All right, guys, for those of you who do not know, this young lady joined Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. 3 God, in Honduras when the cult was being called Melanation. She joined with her direct, who's Goku. Now, when they got there, apparently there was some inappropriate behavior coming from Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. 3 God, towards Trey. And they didn't last long. They ended up leaving, like, really quickly.
It's that serious for you to get on about there, huh? I'm sorry, they just pissed me off. Because people be acting like they ain't got no patience. Y'all know I got into a car accident about a month ago. Now, he was drunk driving, so that's a little different, but I wish people would think about everybody else before they hop in their car and do some stupid shit. Like sit and act like you don't have patience on the road or drink and drive. That's crazy to me. To put everybody else's life in danger. That's some selfish ass shit. So I have real extreme anxiety lately when it comes down to when I'm driving and on the road because of that car accident. Because that's the second car accident that I've gotten into in my life. And it took me some years after the first car accident to calm myself down, like for my anxiety not to be bad. And while I'm driving and be nervous, my leg get to shaking. That ain't happened in years, but I used to be in a car by myself and my whole body would just be shaking, just nervous, just because people don't drive right. Each time I got into the car accident, I was hit from behind, sitting still in traffic, each time. So, but that's not what I got on here for.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Hey y'all, Sorry, I had to focus on the road. Because as y'all know, like I was just saying, motherfuckers don't know how to drive out here. Y'all have to be safe. For real. We could have lost our life. That car was totaled. We just went yesterday morning to get the shit out of it. It's been a month. So anyway, hey, clearly I am Crystal. How you doing, love? Hey, Bria. Hey, y'all. So, yeah. Let me turn off this car. Sit here and chat for a second. So I just wanted to get on an event. I don't know if any other parents are dealing with this, or any other single mothers specifically are dealing with this, but it's taking a toll on me. So I figured I'd spark up a conversation, because I know I can't be the only parent that's dealing with with a child that's having challenges at school. Now, mind you, she's only 4, and she's been to daycare, but it's her first time in school. VPK is to get her prepared to go to kindergarten and things like that. And she's just having a hard time listening. She's having a hard time sitting still during like circle time. She got into a fight with one of the kids a couple of days ago. I guess it was a tussle between them two. It's just every day it's a report. If it's in her book bag, but when she come home and the next time I go live, I can show y'all the book. Every single day it's a long paragraph. Amora did this. Or she'll start off with a good day to be like, oh, Amora had a good morning, but blah, 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 blah. But later on, after lunch, this happened. Teachers need more understanding and patience. Yeah, I agree. And we as parents, we do too. We need patience too. One thing about it, her auntie asked me, we were sitting at the table and her auntie was like, I don't know how you do it. They kept her for a couple of hours. They took her to the, where did they take her? They took her to Jump World, and then they took her out to eat, and she just acted a plum fool. Okay? She acted like she didn't have no home training. Of course she cut up. She really don't get to see her grandma and her auntie like that. So I feel like some of that behavior was just her getting comfortable, but also kids they just act out when they want to. I just feel like it's not a matter of me and her grandmother was having this conversation because her auntie was asking me, how do you do it? And I told her patience. Like with Amora, it's patience. And her grandma was like, nah, it's this and that. It's because you let her get away with it. And or no, it wasn't you let her get away with it. It's because she knows she gonna get away with it, or she thinks she's gonna be able to get away with it. But in my mind, I don't feel like that's accurate. I don't feel like kids do stuff that they know they're not supposed to do because they think they could get away with it. I think they just testing the waters. I mean, it's kind of like as adults, we do shit that we know we're not supposed to do, right? As adults, we know we're not supposed to speed, for example. We know that the speed limit is a certain amount, but yet some of our asses still speed. It's not because we think we're going to get away with it. It's just, we just testing the waters. We're just doing what we want to do. And it's the same thing with kids. It's nothing that we can't control them. I don't care how much we correct, advise, revise, redirect. I don't care how much of that we do. Kids are still going to do what they want to do sometimes. And I don't think it's a fault of the parent necessarily. It's just like human nature. We break rules. We do what we want to do. Somebody tell us something, we do the opposite sometimes. That's just what happens. There are also times when somebody tell us something and we take heed to it. So it really just depends. Montessori is supposedly better, but I don't know. What's that? I feel like that name sounds familiar, but I don't really know. Is that a school? I really want to homeschool, but with other kids too. That'd be dope. I actually just, Crystal, I just read a post of someone. It was kind of inspiring. Not that something that I would want to do, but I thought it was dope what she did. She started a home school. She brought a home and she made it into a school. And so I don't know the details or nothing like that, but that's what she did. I mean, it's not homeschool technically, but It's the structure testing that helps critical thinking. I don't want to squash that. Yeah. Yeah, my thing is, I don't know if I have the discipline to homeschool. I mean, I teach her and I guide her every day in everything that we do. And of course, we sit down and we do certain things. But I don't know if I personally have the discipline to homeschool my child. Now, at the route that she's going,
y'all gotta respect her for actually saying that, because a lot of these new age parents and ex-cult members sit up here and act like they can do it all and homeschool and that's what they're gonna do. It's just not feasible sometimes you're not even at the stage in your mind where you can do it. I mean, I'm sure if she had to do it, she would do it, but just the fact that she knows to acknowledge that she better make sure that if she makes that step, her child's going to get what her child needs is something to be applauded.
The discipline to homeschool my child. Now, at the route that she's going, I feel like if there's not a placement for her, or if traditional schooling does not work for her, then I'm going to bite the bullet and do what I have to do in order to make sure that she's getting everything that she needs in order to be set up in society. Hey, Dream of Art, how are you, love? I'm just venting today about my child. She's having challenges in school. Listening really is the main thing. But yeah, I feel like if I continue to have issues with Amora, like let's just say she gets kicked out of school. It's only 2 weeks. I feel like they're going to bear with her. They know that she has some adjusting to do with getting ready for school. But honestly, the reason why I say it like that, I'm not trying to put nothing out there, but the reason why I say it like that is because Amora also has an issue with listening at home. It's not just at school. You know, it's both places. It's not just at school. It's just at home. There's more consequences. You know, there's more discipline. There's more consequences for her actions here, as opposed to in school. There are consequences, but it's not as harsh, or it may not cut may not cut deep enough. I see, but sharing the responsibility, some people do nanny sharing. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. School is coming soon for my boy. Yeah, how old is your baby? You got a 2-year-old? I gotta do my hair too. I've been lazy. I don't know, but I'm stressed. I've been trying to call her dad. We've been missing each other just so I can vent. It's just times like this where I wish he was more here to help me. I need all the help that I can get. Listen, parents, mothers, especially single mothers, do not feel shamed because you need help. Utilize all the motherfucking assistance that you can get. I'm talking about resources, government resources, family, close friends that are trusted friends and family. Like, utilize all the help. Don't let that pride burn you out, baby, because these kids, they will do it. You need to.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Utilize all the help, all of the village that you can get, for real. Appreciate the people that are gonna love your kids the way that they love you, and take advantage of any assistance you need, because we need help out here. We can't do it all by our own. We can't. We need these men, and we need each other. I don't care how hurt I've been at a man. I ain't never let that make me go all the way overboard with it. I've never allowed that to make me go extreme in my thinking. Like, at the end of the day, I know that I need as much help as I can get. I wish that that her father was available a little bit more, like in person. They talk, he's a phone call away. He helps with what he can when I need it. And so that's not the problem. But
for those of you who may not know, Goku currently lives in Costa Rica, and Trey and his daughter are back in the States.
With what he can when I need it. And so that's not the problem. But a father's presence is so important. Especially, I feel like at this time, I feel like she needs that sternness. Like, she needs that. I mean, it takes a lot of energy for me as feminine energy. Not that I don't have masculine as well, because I lean on my masculine a lot. But to conjure up full masculinity in order to discipline a child, it takes a lot. And I feel like I have to do that when there's not a man in the house evening out that energy for me. And so I have to conjure up and lean more on my masculine side in order to discipline her. And sometimes it takes a little bit more from me than I will want. I don't trust the schools, but I need it for real. He's going to be for it. Listen, Crystal, I was on that too for a couple of years. When I was in the tropics and I was living my life and I was kind of like trying to get away from the system 100%, I just knew I was going to be homeschooling. I just knew she wasn't going to go to traditional schooling. I just knew she wasn't going to get any vaccinations, which she still hasn't. So some things I stuck on, but some things I had to adjust due to the circumstances. And so what I would suggest is it's a personal and different issue for everybody. But sit down and really weigh the pros and the cons of that decision. And if you I feel like the only way that I would keep my child away from regular schooling is if I have a system in place myself that I know is going to be proficient in getting them to where they need to get to, making sure that they have everything that they need to where if anything happened to me, they would still be able to survive. They would still know the basics and still be able to, at least get a high school diploma, and be able to work or do something, obviously.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy, and I love this book.
Obviously, that's the bare minimum, but I'm just saying, the only way that I would keep her from school, my child from school personally, is if I had a system in place that I know is going to give her what she needs. I don't know. It's an interesting problem. It can be solved with logic and creativity. With adult and teaching is a lot, even with two people. It is. Which is why it goes back to what I said. Love, we need all the help that we can get, for real. For real. And so I embrace my village and all the people who has a hand in helping me stay afloat and stay balanced in this mothering thing, because it's not easy. It's so rewarding, and it's a beautiful thing, but it's not easy. It's not easy. My biggest stress every day is how I can be a better woman, how I can be a better person, how I can be a better mother for my child, for myself, and the people that I come across. And so, yeah, it's not easy, but if there's any men that feel like their presence ain't worth a damn, I don't give a fuck if you ain't got $1 to your name to give your child. You standing there and being present is so much. I mean, it's so valuable, and it means so much in the development of these children. You don't never want to feel like that your children are lacking anything, but you know that if they don't have that balance, that naturally something is going to be missed. They're going to be lacking something, even if you tried to give them everything. And it may come up later on down in the road when they get a little older and they realize, like, hey, you know what, you did a good job, but this is what I was lacking in because I didn't have this.
Y'all, she has always been like just straightforward, straight up, honest, and open. I like her for that. I enjoy her transparency. Anytime she goes live, she's just Trey.
It's like, hey, you know what, you did a good job, but this is what I was lacking in because I didn't have this. It's always going to be something that could have been done better. And so I'm prepared to have that conversation with Amora once she become of age, to sit me down like I did my own mama, right? Because once you become an adult, it's time for you to sit down with the people that had a hand in making you and let them know where they could have went, where they could have did better. And it's not a crucifixion. That's not what it is. It's to take that in and do better with the next generation. That's all. That's all it is. And so I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm prepared for that conversation with Amora. I'm prepared for all the things that she might sit down and tell me that I didn't provide, even though I gave her everything that I could. I'm prepared to hear her say that this something that I did hurt her, even if me doing it was, in my mind, protecting her. You see, and so I'm 100% prepared for that conversation. But in the meanwhile, I'm just going to continue to make sure that I don't give her, I'm not purposely or I'm intentionally not trying to give her anything that would cause her to feel like she lacked. I love teaching him, but it's a choice. Earning potential in homeschool for me, I just don't know. Yeah. Well, listen. Take some time, baby. Take some time and figure out what you want to do. And if there's anything that I could help, any advice I could give, I'm here.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Oh, yeah. No problem, Crystal. I was hoping I wasn't the only parent going through something right now. But yeah, just like I'm a nervous wreck when I go and pick her up to go look in that binder. First I ask her, like, Amora, did you have a good day? And I look forward to what she's telling me, and she usually don't give me too many details. And then I open the thing, and it's like a whole paragraph of, oh, Amora wasn't listening. She had to do this. We had to go get another teacher to help her. It's like it's this black teacher that she respects more than she respects the other teachers. And so they go and call the black teacher to get her together and shit. Listen, whatever y'all got to do, just please don't kick my baby out, because I need this time. I need this time. Also, maybe it's her time to integrate with her peers. You talking about Amora? Yeah, no. I mean, she has, though. I mean, she got cousins. She went to daycare when we was just in Texas. She's had bonding time, but you know what? Maybe it's just a little different with this being a real elementary school. I think maybe the energy is different in a real school as opposed to a daycare. I think daycare is a little bit more relaxed. VPK for her, I feel like is real structured, and she has to get used to that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I feel like she need a little bit more time to get warmed up. Because, like, lately she been getting into fights with people. She need to learn how to communicate. She need to learn how not to get angry when stuff don't go her way. And also, sometimes when she wants to help people with things, she gets upset if you don't want help. Like, Amora has a couple of things that she needs to work on within herself. But I'm confident in knowing that this is just a phase and she's going to get it together. I just don't want them to kick my baby out. But
all right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
I'm thinking is I'm really knowing that they're gonna try to put her in some type of special classes just because of all of her energy. It's not that she's slow. It's not she's verbal, very smart and intelligent. It's just she has a lot of energy. That would be the only thing, and that's why I scheduled her with professionals. But she was only 2 at the time, and at that age they can't tell. Actually, this is around the time where they start monitoring her and diagnose or figure out what could be the issue here. This is around the time now that she's in a school settings. And so they would take like what the teachers say and then what the parents say, and they would make a decision. My thing is, no matter what she's diagnosed with, I'm not drugging my baby up. I will deal with her just the way that she is. And like I said, that's what I mean by if I have to take further steps later on because I don't have any other choice, then I will. I will. I just don't know how I would get her to. That would be a big challenge for me. I know, right? I hate when stuff just circling around in my mind for forever. That's what I'm scared of. The doctors don't be knowing exactly what the fuck they talking about neither. And they be ready to diagnose them with some medicine that's going to drug them up and shit. And I'm not really necessarily with that. I feel like ain't nothing really wrong with her energy as she get older. My grandmother had ADHD. And she had it all through, and she still has it as an adult. She never had to take medication for it. So I feel like that's the only thing that I'm going to put a little resistance on is drugging her up. I feel like even though she got a lot of energy, that energy can be alchemized into something else later on. It's not nothing that we need to put out or disrupt or nothing.
She's absolutely right. I would definitely suggest that she hold off on medication. Her daughter's only 4 years old.
It's not nothing that we need to put out or disrupt or nothing. We just have to learn to we have to just teach her how to regulate her energy a little better, which I don't have all the answers. Honestly, I learn as I go. Every second, every hour, every day, I learn how to be a better mother. And so I'm not going to sit up here and act like I have all the motherfucking answers, because I do not at all. I just know what I know, and I know I'm willing to learn what I don't. And I feel like that's what makes me a good mother, is that I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to look at myself. I'm always willing to revise. Whatever I have to do, I'm willing to do it. He didn't have a nap. He being described as... Right. Right. Certain behaviors are just because kids are moody, though. Everything ain't a behavior issue. Sometimes they sleepy. Sometimes they cranky. Sometimes they angry. Sometimes they sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, they go through certain emotions just like we do. Everything is not a behavior issue. It's yeah. And that's what I mean by everything is not a behavior issue. I feel like sometimes the doctors, they're so used to putting things in categories. As soon as they see something, that's what they do. And that's why as a parent, it's important for us to know what's going on with our kids more than them. I mean, they depend on us to go in there and give them all the information. I mean, how many motherfucking questions do they ask before they get started? Before they even test the child, they ask us numerous amount of questions first. Before they even run the test, they have to take what we got to say and what the test say, and then they reach a conclusion. So they don't necessarily know what the fuck they're talking about all the time. We don't need to walk in a doctor's office. And I've been talking about this for years. I know I haven't been on social media like that no more, but I used to always talk about this. She's
absolutely right. It's very important that when you sit down with your child's doctor, that you're realistic and honest about the picture that you paint, because based on that picture, they're going to come to some sort of medical conclusion.
Yeah, like that no more, but I used to always talk about this, is don't just go into a doctor's office and just sit down and think that they know everything that they're doing. Like, they work for you. You need to know what you're talking about before you get in. You need to know what's going on with your child so you can tell them. That's all you're doing. Anybody that go in confused is so silly, because you go in confused and then they sit and they ask you a list of questions that you have to answer. And then based on those questions, they do tests. And then they compare what you got to say and what the tests say, and then they reach a conclusion. And sometimes those conclusions are not right. It's a guesstimate. They can only go based off of the prior cases that they've already had. That's the only information that they had to go on. So if you walk into the office with a new condition, they either gonna put it in the category with what's already been diagnosed and misdiagnosed the kid, or they don't know what the fuck. There's no cure. They don't know nothing. Definitely don't drug her. There are so many other alternatives to help her develop. You got this, Trey. I appreciate it, Super. They will mislabel to put pharma on your children. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that shit's gonna fuck them up even more than it was before. I've seen it. I've read the stories. I already know how that works. And I will not allow my child to be a victim of that. In the wrong environment, everything is a problem, but won't address his lisp. Like, what the fuck? Oh, wow. Did you try speech therapy? I know Amora was a little what they called a late talker. She had a couple of traumatic events in her life at a young age, at 2 and 1 and shit, that really traumatized her. Like, for example, with her missing teeth. She fell off a flight upstairs on the concrete fucking floor. You know, so when she bust her teeth, that's why y'all know, well, if y'all been following me, y'all know the reason why she's missing those 4 teeth is because of that fall was so hard. And y'all know she went mute after that. She went mute. She wasn't talking as much. Like, things was discombobulated. Like, that happened. And then she poked a hole in her ear and she developed tinnitus. We just got clear of that within the last year. And I don't even know if that's completely clear. Because a couple of months ago, she literally asked me, she said, what's that in my ear? What's that noise in my ear? So I feel like the tinnitus is still there. It's just since she's so young and she's just now learning how to communicate, there's no way to really tell. There are no tests. I've already taken her to a whole bunch of fucking specialists. There are no tests that can diagnose tinnitus. So we have to wait until she's old enough to tell us what's going on. So until then, I just went based off. I knew she had fucking tinnitus before she could speak, because ain't nothing more important to me than my child. That's who I pay attention to. Like, that's who my focus is on. You can't tell me nothing about my child. If there's anything going on with my baby, I'ma know. Okay.
All right, y'all. Going ahead and drop me a comment. Smash the heck out of that like button and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Okay? I'ma fucking know. Okay? All I gotta do is look at her. That's all I do is I observe my child and I make a decision based off of what's going on. The reason why I knew she had tinnitus is because I sat there for nights on end and watched her. Literally. Not scrolling on my phone, talking to her. No, I observed her to see what her symptoms were. And every time I told someone, morning, every time I told someone in the family, I remember in the beginning when I said that she had tinnitus, everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. Oh, you just over-exaggerating. Oh, you just this, you just that. How you know it's that? It could be that. But I knew what I was talking about. And that's why you can't listen to nobody but your fucking self when it comes to your kids, for real. If you know some shit intuitively, it ain't for nobody else to know. I don't care if it's your mama, daddy, brother, sister, cousin, best friend in the whole fucking world. Everybody ain't meant to get what you get. And when it comes down to your child, sometimes you gotta fade out that fucking noise. Let that voice be louder than everything else, because they're not as connected. So they're not gonna know and feel as much as you do. And you can't expect them to. That's your job as a parent, to be connected with your child enough to know what's going on with them. Okay, when I kept telling people that she was dealing with tinnitus, nobody wanted to fucking hear me. A couple of people laughed at me and said, oh, you just being an overprotective, what do they call it, a hypochondriac. Oh, you're just being a hypochondriac, making everything an issue. No, she was really suffering, and I was suffering too. We didn't get no sleep barely for the first 2 years that she was dealing with that. And so I think that I'm happy that we got a little relief, but I'm pretty sure it's still lingering, only because of what she said. It's not because she's waking up in the middle of the night, because she don't wake up in the middle of the night that often. So it's not the same as it used to be. She used to wake up every night, 3-4 times a night crying. So it's not that anymore, but she does wake up whiny a little bit and she goes back to sleep. So she could have gotten used to it now. She was young. She's gotten older. It's been 2 years. So she could have learned how to integrate that into her world to where it doesn't stick out and bother her so much. Or it's healed and it's not as loud, or it's completely healed. But like I said, about a month ago, she asked me, what's that noise in my ear? And so in my mind, I already knew, like, that's tinnitus. And I even told my mama. I'm like, did you hear that? Because I be wanting people to hear the shit so they don't think I'm crazy. Like, did you hear what she just said? Because whenever I say something about my child, people think I'm always making some shit up. Like, I don't know my child. I don't get it, but that's what happens. Hey Yanni. Hey, Health is Wealth. Like, sometimes when I say things about my child, because people think that I'm so overprotective that they think I just be making up stories or something like that. Like, no, I'm not just talking on my ass. I know my child. That's just what it is. I know my child. Look like, doctor, I'm just asking, is addiction or par? Now he is prescribed as aggressive in the notes. It's a balance. Hey Jan, how are you, love? I'm just venting about school. My baby done started VPK, and girl, every day it's a letter, a whole paragraph of just her misbehaving, not listening, getting into it with kids and all type of stuff. So they want to have a parent-teacher conference tomorrow after school. So
all right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
I'll let y'all know how it. I always say I'm gonna come back, and I don't never do. I might come back on here and let y'all know. I might not. Shit, I'm just on here for now. Yeah, we gotta know our children. Absolutely. Before we gotta know our children better than anybody else. You know, and I know if you a mom like me and you super protective, you may be accused of making shit up when it comes to your child. Fuck them. You know what you talking about. Look, I ain't finna argue with nobody about what I know about my child, you know. Can't nobody, until you spending as much time with my child as me, you can't tell me nothing about her. Now, sometimes I can be a little delusional with my baby. Right. It's not delusion. I'm not delusional at all. Sometimes I feel like I can be a little bit soft on her. I'm guilty of that. I'm not going to lie. And that's my own issues on why I do that. And I need to work on that. I'm not going to lie. But long story short is, can't nobody tell me nothing about my child. And they know it. I have been accused as being defensive when somebody tell me something about my child, but it's not that. I do exercise defensiveness sometimes. I'm not going to lie. But it's all about how you come at me. It's about how you express what you have to say. If day in and day out, I'm busting my ass to be a great mother and I'm dealing with these challenges that comes with my daughter, you think I want to hear somebody sit down and try to critique me that don't have a hand in it, or even if they have a little bit of hand in it? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that I want to hear that? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Encourage me. That's what I need. As a mother, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to put this out there. If you want to give a mother advice, or you see that she's doing something that she can do better, or you see something that could be advised, or you have some type of advice or tricks, or, you know what I'm saying, that you want to give a parent, give it to them. But you don't have to critique how they mother or how they parent in that moment just to do that. That is a problem for me.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True, many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
That is a big problem for me, and I don't think anybody want to sit and listen to somebody critiquing them all the fucking time. You know, and so yes, it gets aggravating. It gets aggravating, but I'm never in a space where I'm not able to hear what I need to hear from it. If it's something that I need to work on within myself, baby, I'm going to listen. Even if I don't want to hear it, I'm still going to listen. Even if I don't know what to say in that moment, I'm going to take it in. And later on, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, hey, you know what you were saying to me about blah, blah, blah. I wasn't in the space to hear that shit right then and there. But right now, after thinking about it for a couple of days, you was right. You know what? You was right because of this. And I thought I was right because this is how I felt and this is where I was coming from. But at the end of the day, this is what, you know what I'm saying? That's how I think. I'm always willing to look at myself so long as you come to me respectfully. That's it. And don't trigger me. My parenting skills, my mothering is a very sensitive fucking subject because I'm doing this shit by myself. I got my village. I don't mean by myself like I ain't got nobody else, because I do, and I love them to death. Shout out to all of my village, you know. But at the same time, I'm full-time mother and I'm doing this by myself. And so yes, I am sensitive when somebody try to give me some fucking advice about I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna sit here and say that I can be defensive when somebody gives me advice, but it depends on how you say it. If you're saying it to critique me, don't do that. Don't critique me, because there is no right way to do things in each moment with a parent. I don't do things the same way every time. I switch up my methods because each method is not effective in each situation. You know? But if you want to give me advice, give me advice, but just give me advice. Don't critique me. I don't need you to critique me. I'm already critiquing my motherfucking self day in and day out. I'm already doing that. Trust me. I'm already doing that. I don't need nobody else doing it. If y'all could only hear how I mother parent my fucking self in my head in order to be a better parent for her, then wouldn't nobody have shit to say to me. Okay? But anyway, I just had to get that out. Yes, it's about how people present things, and that's my thing. Like, I'm not that hard of a shell where I can't take in no advice or something that's good for me. I'm always willing to hear some shit that's going to help me be better and do better. I'm not stuck in my ways. That's one thing you never going to hear me say. And one thing about me, I am not stuck in my ways. I'm always willing to grow. I'm willing to drop every motherfucking thing and start anew if I need to. If it's going to make me a better person. May the scale be balanced in the correct direction. Amen. Ashe to that, Crystal. There's a difference between advice and telling someone what to do. Exactly, Jan. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. It's also how people present things. Yup. Childbearing is not one size fit all. Custom made is. Yep, it is. Defensive is a team position. That's how to play. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Sometimes you got to be defensive. Sometimes you do need to defend what's yours and what you love. You know. On about this live. I hope y'all have a beautiful day, beautiful people. Peace.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as well as my commentary. Please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Guys, I want to give a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the channel. To all of my OGs, my day ones, my ride or dies. Y'all already know what it is. Big up yourself. We in the building with it.